Hey guys, and welcome back to SaintXElijah, the YouTube channel. This is SaintXGaming, my scripted YouTube series. Hope you guys like it. This is all about how Star Wars and Ubisoft are now making a game together, and 5 studios I'd like to see make a Star Wars game, even more than the new Ubisoft studio. Hope you guys like the video. If you do, leave a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and let's hop right in.
Number 5.
The first studio on my list is Capcom. Capcom lately has been a non-stop hit factory with tons of great Resident Evil games, as well as the extremely popular Monster Hunter world. I'm no expert when it comes to Capcom, that's for sure, but when it comes to third-party quality games, I know I can always trust Capcom to put out something special. The team I'd like to see actually work on this game would be the same team that brought us Resident Evil 2 Remake. I felt RE2 Remake stayed true to the originals, with completely updating the playstyle and modernized the game for 2019. If I had to choose the genre and type of game for this studio to make, I'd choose a survival horror in the Star Wars universe. Maybe of a story not connected to the main movies, but something completely original that shows you can do any genre in a Star Wars game, not just pure action and shooting.
Number 4.
The next studio I picked would be Crystal Dynamics, the developers of Tomb Raider 2013 and its 2 sequels. They also are the devs behind Marvel's Avengers, but let's not speak about that. I think giving them a Han Solo story could be great. Seeing Han younger, teamed with Chewbacca, maybe linking to Solo, a Star Wars story. Solo wasn't one of my favorite movies, but it was left as to be continued, and I feel a game would be the perfect place to sequelize it. Sure, the studio now is behind the Marvel's Avengers game, but I feel the publisher pushed them to go in ways they didn't want to go, and pushed them to make a game they had no reason to make. I would like to keep the Han Solo game as a third-person action-adventure game, similar to Tomb Raider, but starring Han Solo and Chewbacca, telling a Star Wars story that makes us happy that we went and saw Solo in the first place.
Number 3.
Gearbox Software, best known for the Borderlands series, would be damn near perfect for a Star Wars game. A studio that doesn't take itself too seriously and brings us a pure, fun, open world-esque looter shooter that could easily be recycled and slightly changed for a Star Wars game. My idea for this game is less an idea and more a setting. The Clone Wars, allowing 4 different classes including possible Jedi, clone commanders, bounty hunters, senators, etc. with their own unique abilities and skill trees. I believe this game could be incredible. Telling a Clone Wars story and even featuring many characters from the Clone Wars show, the studio would be perfect for a Star Wars game in my opinion, and it would get me way more excited than anything EA has put out since they got the exclusive license years ago.
Number 2.
All my previous studios would be in charge of games that mainly focus on guns. Sucker Punch, however, is the studio I'd like to see make a Jedi game. Sucker Punch, the developers behind Ghost of Tsushima, Sly Cooper, and Infamous, would be unbelievably perfect for a Jedi game. Infamous and Sly were all about movement, and as we know, Jedi are very methodical and strategic with their movements as well. Not only this, but Ghost of Tsushima may be the best sword-wielding game ever made, with a great combat system, incredible use of the world around it, and characters that balanced honor with stealth. The story I'd like to see here would be a continuation or a prequel of Ahsoka's story, possibly occurring in between the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian, where stealth is key and swordplay is perfected. If you haven't watched Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 5, I'd suggest doing so, as this whole episode made me get the feel of an Ahsoka video game, as many of the Mandalorian episodes do.
Number 1.
And finally, my number one studio for a Star Wars game, Obsidian. Obsidian are the original developers behind Fallout, and just recently they released a very similar to Fallout game, The Outer Worlds. This game showed there's no excuse for Bethesda games to be as messy and buggy as they are, and I love when a developer outdoes a mainstream team. The story I'd like to see here is, well, The Mandalorian, or at least something very similar to the show, starring a bounty hunter who meets friends along the way and journeys to far places to do quests. If you explain The Mandalorian show in simple terms, it sounds identical to The Outer Worlds or Fallout. This partnership just makes sense, and with as big of a hit as The Mandalorian is, I can only imagine the game would be just as big. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. There were two other studios that came to mind, but I didn't want to mention them because they're both Xbox studios and they both are very much made to make one game, and that's the Halo Studio 343 and the Gears of War Studio. Both those studios were built to make those games, but I think they could easily make a really cool Star Wars game. I didn't want to list too many Xbox games, so I only list one Xbox exclusive with Obsidian and one PlayStation exclusive with Ghost of Tsushima. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down, and remember to subscribe. Check me out on Twitch. Me and Becca stream all the time. Twitch.tv/SaintXElijah that's the Twitch. Join us on Discord if you want to talk and discuss and maybe help us think of more videos in the future, what you'd like us to talk about. And follow us on Twitter for exclusive tweets. And that's pretty much it. Until next time, goodbye.